Hey y'all, so I wanted to hop on and do a video about how to stay saved in college. Um, so, as you know, I went to college. I went to college for a long time. I was in college for 10 years, and technically I'm still in college since I'm a professor now. Yeah, all through my bachelor's, master's, PhD, I thank the Lord that I was saved that whole time. And so I wanted to give some tips about how to stay safe in college because I know we hear a lot of times that college is where a lot of people go left and a lot of people go wrong, and a lot of times people are um, turned by the ideologies that they learn or pick up in universities. Universities are a place that are kind of notorious for not um, perpetuating ideas that are godly. And so I think I thank the Lord that it's not only did I go through college um, as a saved person, but as conservative a Christian as I am. And the Lord, I credit that only to the Lord. It wasn't that necessarily I'm just this really strong person, or um, it wasn't anything I did. It was truly the grace of God. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I think the very first thing that needs to be taken into consideration is a desire to stay saved. If you have a desire to like go to college and kind of do your own thing and kind of figure out, whether or not this whole Christian thing is for you, it's going to be more difficult for you to stay saved because that's you're already going into it with this concept of, yeah, I'm not gonna do everything that I know is right. And college is absolutely a time for exploration. I think a college is a time for you to settle on what it is that you truly believe, what it is that you truly think, how it is that you truly feel. But you need to really have an honesty of heart, and you really need to have a submission and humility to God. I think that really is a key. That yes, you are kind of discovering yourself. Yes, you are deciding some things for yourself, but everything that you are discovering is subject to God. Everything that you are deciding is what the Lord wants. And it's so important that you are honest and that you are humble during this time of exploration, that you say, um, Lord, I want what you want. And if you don't want what the Lord wants, if you want to do what you want to do, tell that to the Lord. I think a lot of times we assume that, oh, I can't tell God, how I'm really feeling, that, I want to try these things and I want to do these things, and he'll somehow, it's like he doesn't already know. Like God, first of all, already knows. If you want to go try some things that you know are wrong, then the Lord already knows. So be honest with him. I think a lot of times people try to fool themselves um, like that. But if that's really how you feeling, then you really tell that to God and you say, Lord, I want to try these things. These things are attractive to me, and I know they're wrong and they're tempting. So I need you to help me. And I think that is so key. That's so important that you always, always maintain this attitude of humility and honesty before God, because He already knows. He already knows. So there's really no point in us trying to front. There's really no point in us trying to put this facade of who we really are or how we are. He already knows. So just tell it to him. So first of all, I think the most important thing is making sure that you have an honest heart and that you are humble and that you are willing to do whatever the Lord tells you or shows you to do as you are on this college journey. That is most important. I think that really is key. And then after you get into college, you really have to find accountability partners. It's so important that you get plugged into a church. I was blessed. I was able to go to a Christian university, which in some ways was good, in some ways was bad. So it was good because it kind of, we already had kind of had that foundation of Christianity. We already kind of had that foundation of um, people talking about God or being comfortable about talking about God. Um, but it was I won't say bad, but it was also different because at that time I was being exposed to a lot more ideas about Christianity than I ever had been. So it was a Baptist university. I went to Baylor, a Sikkim Bears, um, but not only Baptists were there. There were people from all different kinds of faiths. Even atheists went to Baylor because it was just a good school. And so that in some ways was challenging, but I think in a good way because I had never, like I mentioned, I hadn't been as exposed to other fellowships, other groups of people. And so for me, what it really ended up doing is kind of solidifying my ideas and solidifying my faith. I know for some people, it kind of tipped them the other way. I've had talks with friends from Baylor who were like, "Yeah, I came in a Christian and then I left an atheist." Where I came in a Christian and I came in a pretty conservative Christian, and I left even more solidified in my beliefs. And again, I don't credit that to myself, but I credit that to the Lord helping me be honest in heart and mind. And that's really what got me through. And so, um, definitely getting plugged into the right group of people, having good accountability partners, surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded, surrounding yourself with people who are also trying to do the right thing, and who are also trying to benefit themselves spiritually. So important if you want to stay saved and stay living for God in college. Another thing is the personal devotion time. Um, I will admit that during college, I was not as faithful with my personal quiet time as I probably should have been. I think some of the way I got around that was, or the first, well, the Lord had mercy. I just feel like the Lord has mercy on me all the time, and still today. So part of it was that the Lord was having mercy on me, but also that I was making sure that I was getting to church as much as possible, and I was going to a good church. I was going to a church where I knew the life that the pastor was living. I was going to a church that was not um, saying that yes, you can live in willful sin, and that yes, we transgress God's law sometimes, but it's okay. He has grace for that. That's not the kind of church I was going to. I was going to a church where people were um, checking up on me, not in like a Nazi way, but making sure that I was being accountable to the Word of God, where I was being accountable to someone about my life. And so I would really highly recommend that as well. So, how you stay saved in college. You make sure that you have an honest heart, that you really want to stay saved. If you want to stay saved, the Lord will help you stay saved no matter what. You get plugged in um, to a church, to a Bible study, to like-minded believers. You surround yourself with like-minded believers, and you have your own personal devotion time. You make sure that you have your own personal study time where you are reading the Word, where you are asking the Lord, what is it that you would have me to do? That you are sitting at the feet of Jesus, and the Lord will bless you. He will see your honest heart. He will see your desire to live for Him, and He will bless that. So I hope that helps you guys. Let me know in the comments what other topics you want me to talk about. At first, I was like, I don't really know what I'm going to talk about in my vlog. Maybe I'll just talk about random things. But this video was because of a comment somebody posted in another video. So um, in the comments, let me know what it is that you want me to talk about. Like my channel, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time.